My name is Jessica Kunz, and I'm here with Jason White, Democratic candidate for the 5th District State Representative seat. Thank you for being here, Mr. White.
Thank you, Jessica.
And so I want to talk a little bit. The election is just over a week away. And can you just give us an overview of what the election season has been like so far for you?
Yeah, it's been quite hectic, actually. Things come up real quickly, and you have to deal with situations that, nothing of a major importance, but important enough that you have to deal with it right away. Had a great time though, going around talking to people and meeting everybody that I can, and getting to talk to nice people like yourself. So.
Have you been able to meet a lot of college students from Edinboro?
I've met a few, not an overwhelming number of them, but that I'd really like to get an opportunity to meet more of them. This election is really it's going to take its toll on them if we don't get out and vote for the right people. So I'd like to really get a chance to meet more of them. Yeah.
Absolutely. Now, being on a college campus, a big topic is obviously education, and we have budget cuts. And now we have issues with contract negotiations. And so where do you stand among all of that, among these issues that are hot button issues for college students?
Right. Well, first of all, I think we need to step back and restore the funding to higher education. It's detrimental to our future if we don't have people going to college at an affordable rate. Right now people are coming out of college with large debt, and we don't need to make that burden more on them. As far as the contract negotiations go, I think it's important that they reach an amicable agreement, and the current situation is they're taking a vote on authorizing a strike. They're not actually going on strike, and I think that's an important thing to note. This is just to, try to improve the negotiation process, I think.
And you said coming out of college in debt, and can you expand a little bit? College students are coming out in debt and looking for jobs, and so how does that tie into these education issues?
Well, for starters, a lot of teachers are being laid off, and a lot of the support staff are being laid off with these budget cuts. And so that has an immediate economic impact. It also has an impact on people searching for jobs, because if you're a teacher and you're looking for a job, but all of these teachers are getting laid off, your chances are much smaller that you're going to find a job in that area. Secondly, I think we need a partnership between colleges and technical schools and whatnot, so that we can, and business, to find out what their needs are, so that we can properly prepare students to take the jobs that are in demand.
Absolutely. Now, what are some other issues that affect this district that you would look to change or remedy if you were in office?
Well, we also see the cuts to human services, and it's one of the roles of government is to care for the citizens who can't care for themselves, to stand up for the ones that can't stand up for themselves. That's also another big issue. Also, recently we've heard about the policy that had changed Erie County into a rural from an urban county, and that also affects funding to the human services. So now hopefully we can get that turned around. Hopefully we can turn around the cuts and restore the budget to where it should be.
And you mentioned standing up for people who can't stand up for themselves, and I know that volunteering and participating in the community is really important to you. Why do you think that's so important?
Well, one of the things that, there is a lot of money going out to human services, but there are areas that the state just can't cover. So when someone can volunteer and do something more for the community, that's always helpful to the people that, like I said, can't stand up for themselves or need some help, need a hand up.
And we were talking a little bit before the interview about college students and getting out there and voting. Why should college students be invested in this election? Not just the presidential election, but locally as well.
Right. Well, I think it's fundamental to note that some people believe that we should be paying for college on our own. That if you should borrow the money from your parents, or that you should take a summer job or part-time job to pay for college while you're going there. I don't believe that. I think that we need financial assistance. I mean, you know, when someone has gone to Cal State or Southern Cal, whatever, or to Edinboro, they can't. It's hard to say, well, you know, you should be paying for that as you go. We need financial assistance to help us get through that. And when you come out of college, you shouldn't have a debt that's as large as owning a mortgage. So I believe that we really, you know, it's really important that the college students understand how important it is to get out there and vote, and to make sure that the people that you're voting for have your interests in mind. You know, that they stand for higher education, that they stand for basic education, and they stand for the future. It's important that we invest in the future.
And what is the last thing that you want people to take away from seeing this, and when they head to the polls next week, what do you want them to know?
Okay, well, this particular district is going to be decided, I believe, by a few hundred votes. It's going to be the closest election this seat has ever seen. This year you have two very stark choices. You have, you know, a guy that believes that that the gas and oil industry should be allowed to have free reign over our lands. I believe that we should take a more cautious approach. You have a guy that believes that education should be paid for out of your pocket. I believe that we should provide financial assistance. So there are two very stark differences, and I think that it's very important that we get out and vote, because every vote will count.
Alrighty, well, anything else you'd like to add?
I think we've pretty well covered it.
Alrighty, well, good luck in the race next week.
Well, thank you so much. Thanks for having me.
No problem. Thank you for watching. Hi, I'm Jessica Kunz, and I'm here with Greg Lucas, Edinboro Mayor and Republican candidate for the 5th District State Representative seat. Thank you for being here, Mr. Lucas.
Thanks for having me.
We're very excited to have you here, and the election day is just a week away.
Just a
so
week, yes.
Can you talk a little bit about what the election season has been like so far for you?
Well, my season started back in March, collecting signatures. You needed to get 300 signatures in order to get put on a ballot. But at the time, we weren't sure where Edinboro was going to be, whether 3rd or the 5th. So I ended up getting over 600 signatures in both the 3rd and the 5th district. And then finally, we settled on the 5th district, like only a couple days before the signatures were due. You know, I ran unopposed in the primary. I still put signs out and did all the things that you were supposed to do, and won by by a convincing number, because no one ran against me. But I had a lot of votes, a lot of Republican votes. Again, you can't cross lines on those. And then from there, I started knocking on doors every night, every weekend, making phone calls. The end of the season, I have almost 20,000 personal contacts, which puts me #1 in the state. So that right there is grassroots. That's going door to door. That's talking to people, finding out what their issues, what issues are they're concerned with, and the biggest issues in this area are jobs, education, and the economy. So that's what they're concerned with. This last couple weeks, months have been very hectic. Again, knocking on doors, going to different functions, putting signs out again. I don't know if you saw my Burma Shave signs, but I try to put a little twist on it so it makes things a little interesting. Just trying to get my word out. I'm sending flyers out and so on to people. My opponent and I shook hands before the election and said we weren't going to do any negative advertising. I kept my end of the bargain. Apparently, he didn't keep his. And I don't know if you guys got this little flyer yesterday. Had a very flattering picture of me. So I'm a man of my word, and apparently he's not a man of his. So that put a new twist in the equation. You know, I plan on running a straight issue on my merit campaign, and I still plan on doing it because I'm a man of my word. The election's about 7 days, 7 days a week away, so I'll be hitting some more doors. I spent about 3 hours today fixing signs out on the road. The wind and rain has played a lot of havoc to them. Go ahead.
You talk about going door to door, and we are in a college campus community, and so a big issue that you mentioned was education and budget cuts. And so I was wondering if you could talk a little bit about where you stand on that issue.
Well, I've lived in Edinboro most of my life. We came here in the early 70s, 1970 actually. My father was a college professor here, so I've been on Edinboro campus since I was 10 years old. Whenever you hit your Highland the Brave, you just get goosebumps. I don't care where you're at. I was honorary captain at the football game this week, and the band played that, and just everyone has to get that same feeling. It's just a feeling of family and close knitness that we have here in the community. I am a huge proponent of public education. I went to school at California University of Pennsylvania. I graduated from there. I did take some credits in the summer, so I graduated in 3.5 years, which most people don't get done in 4 anymore. But back then, you could afford to go to school, work a decent summer job, and pay your tuition and pay your room and board. And I was able to do that to come out of college with no debt. Now my son is going to Edinboro now. He's majoring in special ed and elementary ed. He works 3 jobs. And so far, he's been able to stay debt-free. He played football last year for Edinboro, and this year decided not to play. He's coaching at Joe McLean, actually making a lot more money coaching than he was playing, but I miss him out there on the field. But state schools are supposed to be affordable to in-state students. It's supposed to be affordable higher education. And I think Edinboro and the state schools are great universities. They give people a good solid background in higher education and go on to grad school. When I had my construction business, we had wrestlers and football players work for us. We had a lot of the college students work for us. Just a good group of people and a good opportunity. The funding for the state colleges has consistently gone down as far as the state share. I'd like to see that come back up again. It needs to be affordable. You can't graduate from a state school with an $80,000 debt. You can't pay that off. It's going to be the next big explosion next to the housing foreclosure. So we have to make it affordable. That takes state funding. That takes conscientious faculty to be able to make sure that they're staying within their means and their budget as in a school itself. In some of their programs, they can't be wasting money. They have to be very frugal with what they do to make it affordable for college students, because that's what it's all about. Affordable higher education. That's what state schools were started for.
Have you been able to reach out and talk to a lot of college students?
A pretty good share. Like I said, my son goes to school. I'm pretty active with the football and wrestling team. I do a lot of fundraising for the football team and the wrestling team. So I know quite a few of the students. They just see those bills and the fees and the things like that, and it just the amount just keeps growing and growing. Now having to stay on campus for 2 years also is a financial obligation to the students. So you're seeing more people maybe commuting or trying to stay at home if they can.
Now, what are some of the other issues that you touched on a little bit before, jobs, that are going to affect this district and things that you might like to change or remedy if you're in office?
Well, jobs are very important. I think if you get good paying jobs, not only jobs but careers, that'll help out a lot of the other problems, because if you create jobs, now you have a higher tax base, you have more people putting money into the state coffers, and then we can get more money to the universities and the other people that need it,
Absolutely. Now, why should college students, young people, be involved in this election and get out there and vote?
Well, it's very important to vote. Traditionally, college students tend to be more liberal, which puts me at a little bit of disadvantage. So I'm asking the college students out there not to pull the big D lever, to go down through candidate by candidate and really research the candidates and see which one you think would do a better job for you. What your needs are and personally what you need to have. You can go to my website. It's votegreglucas.com. You can see where I stand on all the different issues. Education is one of my top priorities. Education, jobs, the economy, and that's what everyone else is right now. That's their issues too. So.
Absolutely. Anything else you'd like to add?
Again, look me up, check me out. Give me, all I'm asking for is a fair shake, and not just to go in there and pull a straight party. I've been in this town most of my life. I am involved with a lot of different things on the university campus, the sports and other activities. We tailgate every home game. The new college president is a great person, and the interim president was a great guy too. And they were both at our homecoming tailgate. And last week was a little bit wet.
Yeah.
Hopefully, the last home game will be a little bit nicer, and we can get a win. You know, we need a win.
Absolutely. Alrighty. Well, good luck to you, and thank you for being here.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thanks for watching.